All right, guys, we are live. Finally, it's been a long time. Really glad to be back. Christmas season, as you can see. Give you guys a minute to all join in. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I got some feedback on my Instagram, Facebook, and everyone, and stuff like that. Sorry, got a little distracted. What? Um, we are here in Florida today. um, pardon one second. I'm getting stage directions from behind the camera. I can't follow it very well. Anyways, really glad to be tuning in. I got some really cool stuff to talk to you guys about. Feel free to jump in, ask questions anytime. Yesterday, we got to go to a Wahoo seminar. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of Wahoo, probably my favorite fish to catch. Really fun fish. They're just so big. They're so good to eat. They scream They scream drag off your reel like no other fish, that I've seen. I mean, you troll so fast and they still kill that big lure. It's just a really fun fishing environment that I like to go in. It's kind of different too because it's in the winter, which is most fishing slows down in the winter, at least offshore in my area. But out there, it just picks up. The Wahoo. When you can get out, it's tough because there's fronts coming in. The weather gets rough, but when you can get out, it's pretty cool. So it was down in St. Augustine. A lot of good fishermen down there. The guys leading it were really good Wahoo fishermen. I knew one of them beforehand, and it's really cool hearing what they were talking about. Some of the things I guess that they do different from me. Probably one of them was their speed. Now I high speed troll, but everyone has different speeds. Like I like 14 to 15, and they're actually trolling 18 to 21. I mean, they'll go 20 miles an hour for Wahoo, which I don't. I mean that I could fully see a Wahoo nailing that bait that fast. It's just kind of interesting because I'm usually going a little bit slower. Hey Chris, how's it going, man? Tight lines, man. Appreciate you joining in. So that was pretty cool to hear them how they go that fast. 18 to 21. Pretty good speed. I got to hear about their spread. Some of the lines they like to use. They were using typically a 5-line spread, where they put a way back lure like they like the C&H American Express, which is it used to be like I guess considered kind of like a marlin lure because it has a flat head and it's not like a sharp pointed torpedo like a lot of Wahoo lures, but that little flat head kind of gives it a little swimming motion. So especially if they slow down, like if a different lure gets hit, they'll slow down. If they can leave that out there, well then that bait swimming is really appealing, and you may get another hookup just while you're bringing in the fish. Another tip they talk about when bringing in fish is how they would do like a slow turn towards the fish, not necessarily for the sake of fighting the fish, though it does help, but also just to kind of get the boat back in the area. Because they said in the old days they would just put autopilot on, be going straight, fight a fish for 20-30 minutes, finally get the fish in, and you're a couple miles away from your spot, and you got to spend that time to get back to the spot. So by turning in, then you kind of stay in the zone. Hey, sorry if I was saying it wrong. Andres Carlos, appreciate you turning in. I can't say anything. Sorry. Appreciate you tuning in from Puerto Rico. That's really cool. Now I'm not even trying. Not today. That's really cool to be tuning in all the way from over there. Are you guys doing okay? I know. I guess it's been a little while, but the hurricanes hit you pretty hard. I guess about a year and a half ago. Well, not even that long. I guess September. So I hope you guys are doing well. Everything's going okay. But yeah, thanks for joining in. Let me know if you catch many Wahoo in Puerto Rico, if that's a big thing, and if so, how do you guys fish for them? What time of year is good for you guys to catch them? And some details like that. I'd be really curious to know how that goes down there. But anyway, so those were some of the tips I learned. Some other cool ones. So they got their spread. I said the American Express in the back, and then they've got bent butts off their gunnels, stagger them, coming them in close, and they'll actually run a 96 ounce weight, 84, 96 ounce weight on their closest lure, close to the boat. So it's really heavy. I've never used one that big. My biggest one is 64. And the weights they use are really cool. It's the weight, if you watched our Wahoo seminar that Steve Grant kind of designed, excuse me, it's not like just a straight torpedo. It's actually kind of big in the front, and it tapers down like a teardrop. And they really like that because it tracks so smoothly. It's more hydrodynamic. So when their rods are trolling, if you look at the tip's like smooth. Whereas on some of the older weights, if they get any kind of a bend, if they're real long, if they're not, perfectly straight, then they'll start helicoptering, and you'll see your tip like bouncing and stuff. If you see your tip bouncing, then it's probably not trolling right, and it could get tangled later on. So that was pretty cool to learn. They talked about some of the bait they like to fish around, whereas so what they were saying is sometimes they would see a ton of bait on the surface, scattered bait all over, and then sometimes they'd find bait scattered all over the water column. But they said what they really like to see is a compact, like red blob of bait in the middle of the water column. Usually when they troll by that, they get some good hits. And it's funny when they said that, because I'm like, I've seen the exact same thing. If you watch some of my recent videos on Wahoo, I actually take depth recorder footage of the bait ball, so you can see what I'm talking about. And I was over bottom, and I seen that, and it's like, boom, we had a fish on. And it's like, when you see that, it's just something that just clicks quick. You're like, okay, that is Wahoo stuff. Once you see it and know it catches fish, the next time you see it, you just instantly get excited and coincidentally catch fish pretty soon after. Hey Logan, thanks. Happy holidays to you as well. Appreciate you saying we're legends. So hope you guys appreciate you saying that, man, and tuning in. Santa Claus hat's getting hot. So anyways, okay, so see, the Wahoo season for us is like from September to December. Okay, so that's not too different from us. Ours is kind of like November, December to April, roughly. I mean, we can catch them any time of the year, but I would say that's our go-to. I think they're probably around September, October, pretty good too. It's just, I don't think as many people go for them. We get the storms and the hurricanes, and then it's hunting season, and it just kind of shuts down in our year. Hunting season ends about January, so I think coincidentally, guys are like, hey, let's go fishing, So we're going to be going Wahoo fishing very soon. I'm really excited. Ocean deep fishing. Oh, all the way from Orlando, man. We got guys all over the place. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Glad you could join us. So we got Orlando, which I think we're actually going to be going to Orlando soon. So save some of the fun for us. So yeah, Orlando, Puerto Rico, all over Florida. Chris asks, what pound test line do we use? Okay, so for Wahoo, what I've been using lately, what I switched to is 130 pound hollow core Momoy braid. And I've also used in the past 60 pound Momoy monofilament on my 50s. I got some 70s off Craigslist, and they have 80 pound Momoy. I wouldn't do anything less than 60. If you're really going to be high speeding fast, like that was one thing they talked about at the seminar. They used to use 60, and it was breaking for them. Now they're trolling 18, 20 miles an hour, bigger weights, 96 ounce weights. I usually troll like 14 or 15 in smaller weights, and I've never had a problem with 60 pound. But I do like going up to the higher braid, so I can go faster if I want, and it's just a little more security, knowing that you got that extra capacity and that stronger braid. Hit me up when we're here. Oh, that'd be a cool fishing trip. What kind of fishing do you do in Orlando? Like on the lakes or, bass fishing? What's going good right Um, that'd be cool. I like it. That'd be fun. Okay, so Andrew, do you remember when your gas broke? Oh yeah, definitely. Kind of hard to forget. Kind of a nightmare almost. It was in a tournament and the gas broke. I'm like, oh no, this is it's terrible. But yeah, actually, I think it was this past year or 2 years ago. Kind of starting to blur together now. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. Actually, I still need to replace that gaff. Um, I'm using, that was an 8 foot gaff, which I'd like. I have a 12 foot gaff, which is really too big most of the time. I kind of like, I like an 8 foot, maybe a 10, but eight's good. And I want a small hook for like some of the kingfish, like a 2 inch hook. I have a 3 inch now, and I think I'd like to get like a 4 inch for like a really big wahoo. Which in the seminar they use 3 and 4 inch hooks. If anyone's wondering. Let's see. Bass on Butler chain. That's cool. I don't think I've ever. Is that the Butler chain? Is that like a lure, like a daisy chain? I've heard of like the Alabama rig, which is like a big wire rig of baits and stuff. Um, that'd be pretty cool. And New Smyrna and Cocoa. Nice. Okay, so Chris is asking, explain where to troll in relation to the ledge. So that's a really good question, and it's kind of funny. It's one thing we talked about in the seminar yesterday, and one thing I could kind of learn firsthand is back in the day, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 10 years ago, 15, something like that, it was kind of the thing to fish the ledge. If you wanted to catch wahoo, you go to the ledge to catch wahoo. Now the ledge is in Jacksonville is about 60 miles. Out of St. Augustine, it's about 50, and it's basically from the inlet 60 miles out. It's a slow descend to 160 feet. 60 miles, 160 feet, slow descent. When you hit 160, boom, it goes to 200 pretty quick. Like basically a big ledge, a drop off a cliff, underwater cliff. From there on, several more miles, you're quickly in 500, 600 feet of water. This ledge in the Keys, we go 4 miles and we hit this drop off, and then boom, down it goes. So it's basically 4 miles in the Keys, right along the coast of South Florida. Up in Jacksonville, it starts getting way 60 miles. So, and a lot of people would troll the ledge for wahoo, and you can catch wahoo at the ledge. I've done it. It's there's a lot of fish there. I've caught tuna, great bottom fishing, caught triggerfish, beeliners. There is good fishing at the ledge. But lately, what I've been finding, and what a lot of them guys find, is you don't have to go to the ledge. In fact, one of my best days last year, I was 15 miles inshore of the ledge. Basically, anywhere that you have good bottom numbers, which will hold bait, and if you're in a good temperature, which at the seminar they said 68 and over was their number. They kind of like 72, probably best. And for the most part, I would agree. Like I usually fish 69 and above, and I really like a 71, 72, 73. Usually, like last year, you hit 69, and then there's like a temp break going quickly to 72, and right after that, I had bottom numbers. That all came together and we caught fish. So, fishing the ledge, you control up and down it, north and south. Also, if you got numbers inshore, start at those numbers. High speed troll past your inshore numbers, because if you're going 15 miles an hour, if you start 15 miles inshore of the ledge, you're only an hour away. Chances are you're going to catch fish before you even get to the ledge. So, hopefully that helped answer your question. I think, let's see, someone asked if I was fishing the tournament, SK Nationals in Fort Pierce. No, unfortunately not. We weren't in the SK this year. We were just doing a lot of fun fishing. With the summer and some of our trips down south, sometimes it's hard to fish these kingfish tournaments. So I didn't realize the Nationals were in Fort Pierce. It seemed like they used to always be in Biloxi. So that's pretty neat. Are you fishing it down there? If so, good luck and let me know how you do. Okay. Let's see. Another, oh, Butler Chain of Lakes. Okay. Um, cool. Sounds pretty neat. I heard Disney has a bass fishing tournament in one of their lakes. I don't know if you've ever fished that. That definitely sounds like a pretty cool attraction. Let's see. Do I do most of my wahoo fishing early in the morning, and do I high speed troll? So it's kind of funny. That was another thing I used to hear about. Wahoo only bite really early and really late, and I've not found any truth to that in my area. Maybe down south it's the case. I heard the Bahamas is all based off tides, but really when you're 60 miles from land, incoming and outgoing tide doesn't mean anything. So I've caught wahoo all times of the day. Caught them 11, noon, 1, 2. When I'm going out to fish, I do high speed and bait. Last year I did mostly high speed. I really like that high speed nowadays, just because it lets you search quickly and find new bottom spots, and it's really simple. You don't have to worry about your ballyhoo fouling up or anything like that. But so this year, sometimes I'll get out to the spot and I'll try to get out right about daylight, be at the wahoo grounds. And this year I put out a bait, and before I could get all my spread out, we had a fish on, and I had a pretty steady bite for a couple hours, and then it just kind of quit. And so we did some bottom fishing, and then we started trolling again, and that was about noon or 1, and the bite picked up. I don't think it's a morning or evening thing. I think it's a major feed thing. Like if you're a hunter, there's certain times where the animals supposedly feed more. I guess that has something to do with where the moon position is and stuff like that. And I think that affects it. So I think fish have a time they bite. I don't think it's a set time. Again, for me, I'll catch wahoo all times of the day, so I'm not worried about just the morning or just the evening or anything like that. Let's see what else we got. So, and that too, when you're 60 miles offshore, it's not like South Florida where you can run out, fish the morning, come back out, go back out in the evening. When you make that 60-mile drive, you're out there all day, so you just fish all day. Have I ever gone kite fishing? I've tried kite fishing myself. I really wanted to look so fun. I got into it. I got a kite and offshore jacks. I've done some kite fishing, put the kite up. I hooked a porpoise dolphin on it once, which is crazy. I guess it shows you how effective. When only that bait's in the water, there's no line to spook the dolphin. So I do like kite fishing. I'm not very good at it because I don't do it very much, and I found it's very kind of labor intensive. You have to have someone manning that kite, and usually it's just me and my dad or a couple other people. But definitely something I want to do more of, especially that South Florida kite fishing for sailfish. That looks like a ton of fun. Favorite color lures. My best producing lures probably are 1, white over blue. That was probably the third big myth on wahoo, is they only eat dark lures. Dark lures, deep, early in the morning. And I've seen that totally busted once because we had like an 80-pound wahoo hit C&H Alien, which is a popping lure, popping on the surface, and it was a bright green dolphin color. So, but yeah, so my favorite colors, I like white over blue. That's a big one. I have one that does really well. It's a black over green over purple, and it's got a green head. It's a Wahoo Whacker XL C&H lure. That one does really good. I've done good on black and purple, and I've done good on pink and white, and I've done good on mahi. So I guess that's kind of getting into all the colors. I think they all catch bait, but probably my 2 best are the white over blue and the black over green over purple. Okay, so in South Florida, man, so yeah, it's tough to do all the SK events with vacation stuff. Okay, cool. So you'll be fishing the Nationals. Should be good. Reel line. Okay, sweet. So I'll try to follow you. See if you catch any big ones. Hopefully you have good weather. I'm not sure what's forecasted down there. I think it would be. I think it's decent down here, but this time of year, like I want really nice days because we got to run so far. But maybe if you don't have to run as far, down in South Florida, it's not as big of a deal if it's a little choppier. Let's see. So Chris said, seems like once you find the wahoo, you could stay in one area and use bait. So yeah, that's exactly right. That's one thing I used to do. I should have done it last year. I would have liked to have. I was kind of high speed trolling. We were doing so well. Didn't really need to stop and use bait, but I was planning on trying that more this year. I think that's exactly right because the high speed is a great searching tool. I would say you're better off to start out high speeding, especially if you need time to rig baits or, everyone's still not very awoke yet. Put the high speed out, get trolling, get the boat organized, set up. You find a fish, okay, that's a good sign. Now, whether you're high speeding or going to bait, if you find the fish, stay in that area and work it hard. Because, it's like you said, if a wahoo bites, he's probably not alone. Not that wahoo are necessarily a schooling fish, but, wahoo kind of all like the same thing, right? A good place to swim and food to eat. So if there's conditions that held that wahoo there, it's probably good conditions for other wahoo, and they're going to want to be there as well. On one of my trips last year, we kind of did that. We were fishing in the morning. We had a couple bites that were definitely wahoo bites, but they came off, and the bite stopped, so we left, tried other spots, did some bottom fishing, and then towards the end of the day, I'm like, well, let's go back to that area. It looked good. Let's fish there. So we went back there, trolling there, and boom, that's where we got our wahoo. So I'm sure they were always there in that spot. Maybe I should have stayed the whole time there. But in any case, the bite may have shut down just for a little while. They stop feeding, and they get hungry again and they feed again. So bait at the ledge. I think some do. I've trolled bait at the ledge, and I've seen others trolling there too. And yeah, I think you'll catch fish there, especially tuna. Especially early in the season, when you slow down and are trolling bait, you're probably going to catch more blackfin tuna, which we've caught out there, and there's some good fish. I've caught blackfin tuna on my wahoo baits before with ballyhoo. So you've got that extra bonus. You might catch more than just wahoo, especially more good fish like tuna. And so yeah, you can put that out, and you can put that little rattle jet I like to do, or a feather, or a cedar plug, something way back specifically for tuna. And guys have caught wahoo on those tuna baits, and vice versa. Most of the time they get bit off, but sometimes you get lucky and you hook them right in the tip of the mouth, and you catch a good wahoo on a tiny little tuna bait with all mono, 60-pound or 80-pound mono. So it's kind of funny how it works out. Let's see. Okay, so one time we had a wahoo bite the weight and cut us off. Yeah, that's crazy. I've heard stories of that too. A friend of mine told me it was a couple years ago. He was fishing with someone, and they had like a big fish almost bite the weight in half. I didn't see it, but I could see a monster wahoo. Lead's not really strong. It's a soft metal. Monster wahoo comes, thinks it's a bait fish, bam. I had something once bite through my 275-pound cable and never felt it. Drag never went off, never clicked, nothing. I don't know if it was a monster wahoo or a big shark. It just had to have been, we were going fast. It just came up, must have chomped that thing, cut it, took off and ran. Next thing I know, I was like, man, my bait seems a little funny. And I start reeling it up. It's like, it looks tangled. And I pull it up. I'm like, wait, I'm missing, because it was a daisy chain, I'm missing one of my lures. So there you have it. So yeah, I'd say another big tip that I wanted to mention that I learned last night is when they're trolling for wahoo, they used to troll, kind of like how I said, start at your bottom numbers and troll out to the ledge. Well, they would do that, start where they're at, west, and then troll east. So they're going east-west. But what they found is a lot of times there'd be a bite down south, or bite up north, depending on where that school of fish is at. So now what they said they do is they actually troll at an angle. They try to try to go south or north to not just go out, but to also go down. Maybe the fish are down. So don't be afraid to work north-south instead of just east-west. Crazy little tip. How many rods do I fish? So with wahoo, I usually fish too many. Not to be too funny, but I tend to want to put a lot of rods out because I figure, hey, the more lures out, the more likely a fish is going to bite it, and I tend to get a tangle. I'm still getting them figured out, but basically I'll troll 4 to 5 rods. I like to troll usually 1, 2 on the gunnel, 2 sticking out, maybe on tag lines, so they're wide, and then 1 in the middle. Maybe it be a wahoo lure, or maybe it be a rattle jet. I'll troll those little plastic rattle jets pretty fast, and sometimes I'll get skipjack or stuff like that on it. So 4, probably for sure. If it's a slow day and I want to like practice, I'll maybe put 5 or even try 6 if I can get away with it. And that's another thing that we do to control our lines, and what they recommend in the seminar is be sure to mark your lines so you know exactly how far to set them out. Like you can use a piece of floss, like wax floss, like fishing floss, tie it to your line, or you could use a marker. On mono it'll eventually wear off, but you could just mark it one of those ways. Have your long one say 400, 500 feet, your next one maybe 350, and then maybe like 3, or like 350, 250, 150, 75. And then do heavier weight, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, and then really light, or maybe even no weight at all, depending on what lure. And then when you make your turns, your lines won't get tangled. So it really helps you to put it out quick and not get tangles. Because you get a bad tangle, you could lose 30 minutes of fishing time, which is no fun. So the lures are pretty pricey. Yeah. What's a good economic choice for wahoo lures that will still work? That's a good question. So first off, you could do ballyhoo. So trolling ballyhoo is slower, so you're going to burn less fuel. Still effective, you just don't cover as much ground. You don't need as heavy tackle. Instead of using 50s and 80s, you can use a 30 wide, or 50 wide, something like that. And you could use ballyhoo with less expensive lures like an Islander. Islanders, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 bucks. You can get the Island hood, which makes your bait kind of track deep. I like wahoo whacker, not the big ones, the little wahoo whackers, which are like 20, 25 bucks. And they may have a feather, or they may have a plastic skirt. That plastic skirt, if I'm using it with a ballyhoo, I'll trim it off, so it's just a little bit over the bait. And you can use like a wahoo whacker, just the smaller ones. You can use all that and troll faster if you got a little bit heavier tackle. So that's a good cheap alternative. The rattle jets, I've caught all kinds of fish on that. You can get a rattle jet XL, put some wire on it. It's a cheap plastic lure. I catch a ton of fish on it. You can catch wahoo on it too. Troll 8 or 9 miles per hour. The Alien XL, the biggest wahoo I've ever seen caught in person, I was on the boat with, hit an Alien XL lure, which is probably 15, 20 bucks, popping on the surface. So I would say lures like that probably are a good deal. I've seen some people even kind of make lures. Like one design was you take an Islander and then you buy like 2 $5 skirts, like long skirts from the tackle shop. Put a little egg sinker in there, put that Islander over it, gives it a little bit bigger body, and you can high-speed troll with that. So a couple of things like that. I've taken, I went to I don't know where you guys are at. If you guys are local, like Strike Zone will have tent sales. And I've gone and bought like cheap, smaller lures, like the wahoo whacker regular size, and I made a daisy chain. I put 3 of them in a row. I got like each lure for $5, and now I've got 3 lures, so it's got a bigger profile. I can high-speed troll Track's good, and I've caught fish on it because it's a daisy chain, so they think, oh, there's 3 baits. Let me bite the last one. So hopefully that helps you out with some cheaper lures that still work, still pretty effective. Because I don't blame you. I'm trying to be a pretty frugal spender myself. Let's see. Andre said, we once saw a wahoo jump like 50 feet in the air. We think it was chasing a big bait or something. That's pretty cool. And I've heard stories of them skying a bait, and that one that hit ours, it skied it. Hit it on the way down. I could see it, yeah, totally chasing bait, and just skying like a kingfish would. It's pretty cool to be able to see that. I've seen kingfish do it. I've seen barracuda do it. I caught the tail end of a wahoo doing it. But I'd love to see the whole thing just come out like a torpedo. Mako sharks will do it. So crazy stuff there. So a lot of fun. Hope you guys learned a couple wahoo things. I'll be doing some more videos pretty soon, I hope. If you got any questions, feel free to comment, let us know. Christmas is just around the corner. We did a gift guide. If you guys need some suggestions, or you want to tell your wives or girlfriends, moms, sisters, whoever, say, hey, here's some ideas for me if you don't know. Quick question. See, Chris Holloman said, have you ever heard of a wahoo taking on a fly rod? I don't think I have personally. I'm sure it had to have been done. I could see it being done. Like at one time, we had such a crazy wahoo bite. We'd stopped to bring in our baits, and we were just trolling in the bait, and a wahoo followed it up to the boat. So that'd be a great time to do. I guess you'd have to have it ready, but I'm sure it could be done. It'd be really hard probably, but it'd be fun to try, right? So yeah, got a new video coming out tomorrow, Friday. Thanks, William. Happy holidays to you too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Quick tip I want to share with everyone. I don't know if you guys have seen that Peloton commercial where the guy gives his wife a Peloton, little exercise bike for Christmas. And don't get me wrong, I love exercising, big fan of exercising and fitness, but I caution you guys on giving your wives exercise equipment for Christmas. It just never seemed like a good idea in real life. I mean, what is your wife going to say? What are you trying to say? I'm fat? I need to work out? So if your wife wants a Peloton for Christmas, you ask for the Peloton for Christmas. Tell her if she wants to, she can use it too. Just want to save you guys some heartache. It'll be better off for you when fishing season comes around if you don't do something to make your wife very angry in the off season. Very important. Tony, have I been diving and shot any wahoo? No, no diving lately. We've been trying to get out, but it's just always been coming up. Bad weather, storms. Some friends of mine went, I think the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and they said the viz was terrible. They were looking for big lobster and stuff, and it was like maybe 10 feet. They didn't do very well, so no good reports for you. Haven't shot a wahoo yet. I'd love to. Just gotta find one day, I'm sure. But not yet. We'll keep at it. William said, give her a new set of cooking pans. You gotta be careful with that too, William. Okay, quick tip for all the guys. Safe gifts for your wife. Jewelry, real stuff. Gold, nice silver, diamonds, okay. Stay at the spa, purses, cash, beautiful card. If you're gonna give her cash, you better give yourself a handwritten card. I'll just be like, hey, good job, honey. No, don't. So yeah, make sure you. I should have done a gift guide for the guys. That's probably easy. I should have done it for guys giving to their wife. If you guys want to see that video, comment below, and I'll get it out ASAP. Personal best kingfish that I've caught. I didn't weigh him, but I got a pretty good idea. He was probably a 35 or 40 pounder. we had a 40-pound head this year, probably 40-pound fish. The head wasn't 40-pound, the head of a 40-pound fish. But yeah, probably 35, 40-pounder. Really nice fish. Probably would have won some money in a tournament. Haven't caught that fish in a tournament, unfortunately. Go figure. Lotions. Now we're talking. Scented candles. That's probably a good one too. What's that show? There's a show. It's got a guy named David on it. Food.
In the Kitchen with David on QVC.
In the Kitchen with David on QVC. That guy seems like a super nice guy. I like that guy. I don't know why. He just seems such a good salesman. Working on getting him on an episode. We'll see how that goes. But safe bet, in the the QVC show channel. It's probably a good choice to shop around on. You know, for what it's worth. Ocean Deep Fishing. Do a collaboration in Jacksonville. That'd be pretty cool. Or Cocoa Beach, New Smyrna. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Yeah, I'll get with you after this Ocean Deep Fishing. That'd be pretty cool. Always like fishing with other people, you know, learning. It's where you learn like a ton of styles. Like, part of me, I like doing it on my own and experimenting, but at the same time, I need to fish with other people. I mean, you spend time with other people who are good fishermen, you learn stuff, and even bad fishermen, you kind of learn what not to do. But if you ever get the chance, you know, if I get the chance to film with other YouTubers, charter guys, stuff like that, it's always been so beneficial in just learning, you know, new stuff and having fun and fishing with other people who fished a lot. You know, it generally goes well as opposed to new people. Don't get me wrong, I love new people, but you know, sometimes it is harder to get them used to what to do when fish bite and stuff like that. Well, anyways, guys, I guess we'll wrap it up. I was really glad to be able to be on a live video and get to, you know, interact with you guys again. It's always fun. Great comments. You know, appreciate everyone for joining. A lot of fun. If you guys got any other questions, feel free to you know, comment on our videos, send us messages on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. New video coming out tomorrow, and we'll have some more videos probably up until around the holiday season. Usually around that Christmas time, depending on when Friday falls, or in between Christmas and New Year's. We might not have a video because everyone's busy with the holidays, but we'll be back at you with some cool stuff in 2020. If you got any suggestions, stuff you want to see, by all means, let us know. Quick question, what's my Instagram? Real Hazardous. Real Hazardous, you find that, it's probably us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Real Hazardous. Oh yeah, lures. That's a good idea. I need to hang some lures. Also, if you guys want a shirt for Christmas, we got them on our thing. We got performance shirts and Teespring shirts. Let me know what you think if you don't mind. You know, if you think, hey, that looks crazy, I'm not wearing that. I appreciate your feedback. Anyways, guys, thanks for the tuning in, all the suggestions, tree, all that. And we'll see you next time.